What's going on, guys? So this week was insane when it came down to war tensions in the markets, right? We saw gold hitting all-time highs. I wonder if you took advantage of that, just like how we did over those live calls, because, man, understanding fundamentals is what could really help you take advantage of these type of opportunities, right? Because you're understanding literally what's happening and how the markets is going to get impacted by this. But I remember a time when where a lot of news would happen in the markets, and I just wouldn't know like how is the markets going to react to this, right? Like just imagine having this type of information when 2020 happened, right? Imagine having this type of information when these geopolitical tensions just start, because you have such an advantage on being able to take advantage of any tradable opportunities, right? So that's just the importance of literally trying your best to understand this information. And it's just funny because before all of this happened, I did send a video before this about how to trade geopolitical tensions, right? And how funny is it that is also on Russia and Ukraine. So what makes us able to take advantage of these opportunities when they happen again and again is that the markets is going to react the same way, right? So when Russia Ukraine, this ain't the first time they started, right? Y'all remember when they first started how the markets reacted. So if we have that information back, this is what gives us an advantage. Because one of the things I paid attention to, right, when geopolitical tensions happen, understanding what does that do to the markets. First thing that should come to your mind is a risk off, like a total market fear, risk off environment, right? So how does the markets react when it's risk off? You expect safe havens to gain strength. Gold is a safe haven. The yen is a safe haven. The Swiss is a safe haven, right? And Japan, Swiss, and the dollar. Yes. So gold, Japan, Swiss, and the dollar, safe haven currencies, going to gain strength. So if we understand that, what's going to get weaker? Riskier assets. So what are riskier assets? Equity markets, like the stock market, and high beta pairs that is traded in commodities like AUD, NZD, and CAD. Those are going to get weaker. So now, when you understand that these tensions are coming in, you already understand the direction of the markets. And this is what helps you determine on which direction you should trade. This is a like I remember when I first started, I didn't know any of this stuff, right? So like you're just taking trades randomly and you seeing spikes of volatility and you just don't know why this is happening. Like it's not just price action, right? There's reasons that's causing the markets to act this way. So once I started diving deeper into like, man, I got to learn this stuff. One of the things I regretted is I wished I learned this sooner, because we had so many opportunities that happened in the past. Like imagine if you had this information when 2020 happened, right? You think of a crisis that happened in the economy and how the markets reacted. Imagine if you had this information and it's right in front of you. What would be the first thing you'll do, right? So this is what led us to take advantage of trading gold. This is what led us to look into short euro. Because when Russia Ukraine first started, we saw that euro actually got impacted the most because of Russia and Europe between the oil and gas lines, right? So Europe is a part of NATO. NATO is also involved with the conflict with Russia. So this is also inflationary for Europe if they're not getting gas and they're not getting oil from Russia, right? So that negatively impacts the euro currency. So when those tensions started, that's why if you look at the euro currency this week, you see the euro literally just drop. It literally melted pretty much the whole week, right? So that's what led for us to take advantage of good opportunities. So just remember, when there's a risk off market, you have high beta pairs and safe haven pairs. You want to trade like AUD against the yen. So AUD JPY. You want to trade Euro JPY, right? You want to probably do the pound JPY, or yeah, you could trade those pairs. And the opposite, right? You could look at AUD, because AUD is very sensitive to whatever geopolitical tensions that is going on. AUD is one of the most sensitive pairs to get weaker. You could trade that against the dollar, again against the yen. So it just helps you understand what pairs to pick. You want to pick a high beta pair against a safe haven so you don't get caught in consolidation. That is super key, okay? Because now you have a direction for the markets. Whatever technicals you guys like to use is totally fine. Just use it. But just understand what's going on and how and why the markets is reacting that way. And this is what's going to really help you out through your trading journey. Okay. So this is why we was able to kill it this week. And I think it's funny because Russia and Ukraine, just so that we could talk, right? Like Russia and Ukraine, it's not like the first time these tensions actually happened, right? They were still going through conflict for years. It was not like there was any peace talks. But why today we see that the markets is now reacting to the tensions? I believe is because we're already having a new commander in chief for the United States where Trump is coming in place, where the markets are expecting him to be more of the peace guy, right? They're expecting him to cause peace between Russia and Ukraine, between Iran and Israel. They're already expecting that these tensions is gonna just die out and people is gonna shake hands and just have a peace party. So when Biden got involved, he actually gave nuclear weapons to Ukraine. And then what did Ukraine do? They took those weapons and attacked Russia with it. That shows that the US is deeply involved. This is why US equities tanked when we saw that news that came in play, right? Because it shows our involvement. And it's also going against market expectations. They're expecting the conflicts to start to ease off. So this goes against it. This is it's crazy, but at least we know why the markets are actually being impacted by this because it's not like these tensions ever stopped. So why did we saw a risk off? We did see a risk on market this week, and it shows the importance of having a news terminal, right? Because the only way you're going to be able to have this information is if you have a news source. So what happened was Russia came out with his comments talking that he was going to retaliate. Then the US came out and said there was just pretty much they're just not getting involved, that they're not going to respond to the conflict. This is what gave more optimism for the markets that session. After we saw a risk off market, this is what gave optimism from the US kind of retreating. The US not showing any like we're not trying to show any conflict right now. We're just going to sit back and we're not going to get involved. No involvement is good for the stock market. This is why we did see a bit of optimism because there was no escalations after that, right? But the escalations came when we started ending the week when Putin said that he's now building missiles that nobody could stop. And these missiles could damn near hit Europe. This is what causes more escalations because now we have to see what's next, right? So whatever happens next could actually be the next opportunity in the markets. So these are the things to pay attention to moving forward now. If we see that the US show involvement, definitely a risk off environment. Or if we see any peace talks coming from this, that could actually be supportive for the markets as well. But any more escalations, look for a complete risk off. Euro, make that the currency you pay attention to because if we see escalations, euro can continue to fall lower. But if we see de-escalations, that would be supportive for the euro currency. Also, it could be a risk on market. All right, guys, just take advantage of these opportunities, right? Because when these things happen again, you want to be on the right side of the markets. All right, guys, hopefully this video helps. See you guys in the next one.